What's going on, everybody? LK here, back at it again with another video. It's Friday, so you know what that means. Real talk. So real talk today. So this is a little bit more towards like people who are already competing or like kind of on the border between like playing or competing, or maybe you just want to beat up your friends. I don't know. And it's about characters, like the actual characters. So I'm not going to talk about tiers because tiers have been honestly talked to death. That discussion about do tiers exist, how much do they matter, that has been done to death. I want to do a tier video, but not yet, because I think there is something that people aren't talking about. But this is specific about your characters. So like, what happens when you lose and you start thinking about changing characters? Because this happens a lot. People ask me, hey, so I switch to this character, or like I keep losing with like such and such team. Like some people are playing like pretty decent / good teams, and they're like, hey, so maybe I should, okay, so I switch to Kibu or something. Like I've seen people legitimately play this team who we see perform well all the time and do decently with other people and see internationally pretty often, and they're like, okay, I don't like this team, I want to switch, or like, should I switch? So here's what you should actually do. This is what you should do when you're ready to switch characters. So first of all, you have to ask yourself, how badly do you want to win? That is some real shit. You have to ask yourself, how badly do you want to win? Do you want to play a character you like to play, or are you really just trying to win? Because if you're trying to win, it's very obvious who you should pick. If you're trying to play the character you like, or you don't want to pick specific characters, then you're kind of lying to yourself. Like, in the first place, do you fucking think I like Bardock? I didn't even know who Bardock was until this game came out. I had no idea who the fuck Bardock was. My favorite character is actually this guy. It's Trunks. I played him when the game came out, but I dropped him for a year because I thought going to Summit, I thought that's not the way. I should learn Cell, because everyone says Cell is OD. I made the choice in my head, even though that team I was playing actually ended up being pretty bad in the long run. It was good for that time. And I made a choice. I was like, you know, I'm trying to win. Like, I'm trying to win. That's thing number one. Thing number two is when you make a choice to switch, you have to really commit to that character and probably not listen to your friends. Because if you've been in the scene for a little bit, you know, and let's say you're in a pretty, you know, you live in a city, you have like a fighting game scene around you. So of course you have like some veterans around. And veterans may not necessarily be, and this is not a diss to long-time fighting game players, but may not necessarily be, I'm a veteran in that I have been playing a long time and I have been successful in competition. It might just be, I have been playing fighting games for a long time. So they have a lot of wisdom from playing a long time, but also I think they have a couple of flaws in their mentality. And one of the things you'll hear a lot from people who've played for a long time is just stick with your character, learn, and adapt. So in my personal experience, really early on in my playing fighting games, this is an ancient story from Melty Blood days, but Melty Blood got a new version. I started with a version called Cadenza. Then it got updated to Actress again, and the character I played, you know, I started getting like better at Cadenza, and my character was really good and fun, but they changed the character in ways I didn't like. I wasn't really feeling the game, I wasn't doing as well, and after a little while I was sitting at home and I was like, you know what, like maybe it's time, you know, maybe it's time to drop my character. And I talked to a few people about it, and they're like, oh no, okay, you're bullshitting, man, just keep playing her, you know, she's really good, just keep playing, just that, blah blah blah, the usual. And then in my head, I was like, no, fuck these guys. I'm going to switch to this character. I think this character is really good. And lo and behold, I switched to that character. 2 months later, win my first major. And then it just goes on and on and on. Right? So but the main thing is, when I made that switch, I committed hard. I did not touch my old character at all. And every time I switch characters, it's a big choice. It's a really big choice. Maybe less than like a 3 vs 3, but it's a big choice in a 1 vs 1 game to like drop a character for a new character. So when you do that, it's like switching from pad to stick. It's like you just don't look at the other thing. Do that thing. So far, do you want to win, or do you want to play what you like? And committing hard to what you want to do And then the last thing is, so when you're thinking, when you have that thought about what should I do about characters, because that usually comes from when you lose, right? And I think it's extra prevalent in Dragon Ball because we've seen time and time again, and I am no exception of major happens, get blown up for some reason, switch characters, right? So when you start having those thoughts, you have to think and be really honest and objective with yourself and give yourself reasons. Did I lose because of my character, or did I lose because of me? That is really important. So like currently, the current team I'm playing, when I lose with this team, not Blue Goku. When I lose with this team, I know that's me. I know 100% it's me. Bardock is the best character, or top 3 depending on who you're talking to. I think Trunks is top 7. I think Yamcha is a godly assist and a godly anchor. Right? When I lose this team, it's fucking me. It's me. This team has flaws, but it's like really small stuff that I don't run into that much. For the most part, most of the time I walk into the set and I'm like, I'm good. And then if I lose, I'm like, wow, I fucked up. When I was playing this team, though... Okay, by the way, this team is really fun. If you want to try this team, this is a really fun and actually pretty good team. But this team is good and fun, but it's flawed. It is heavily flawed. It's far more flawed than my current team. When I lost to this team, I was like, is it me or is it the characters for real? Like, for real. I had to really be honest with myself. Do I feel like I'm losing, or do I feel like I'm losing because of the characters? Of course, it's a combination of the two, but if you step back to the first thing I said, and you sit there and like, I'm trying to win. You have to, and then you start thinking about your losses. If you feel like the characters are influencing you at all, and you care about winning, you have to be really honest with yourself with this choice. So, I hope that helps people. I think probably a second point is like really important. Like if you do decide to make that switch, I probably should have said it last, but if you do decide to make that switch, then you need to really, really, really hard commit to it. You need to really, really hard commit to it. You can play whatever you like no one should judge you for playing what you want, but if you're upset about losing and you keep complaining about your characters, then you need to start like thinking about it. Stop being a bitch and start making proactive choices. It's fine to complain, but if you don't act on your complaints, you're literally being whack. And the only reason I'm telling you this in a video is because I tell myself this all the time. This is the same advice I give to myself and all my friends who think about switching characters. Hopefully it's helped. I hope this becomes the video about this because it's a very common recurring question, the whole scene, not just Dragon Ball. Like and subscribe if you like it. Leave a comment if you have anything to say. And if you have any questions or maybe topics I could use for future Real Talks. And I'll see you on Monday. Thanks for watching.